Welcome to Conversations with C News. I am Dion Batiste. Good afternoon. Today's guest started singing at age 10, and after winning her first competition, she set her sights on the Junior Calypso Monarch competitions, where she emerged victorious at the Borrowcage Junior and Senior Monarchs at the ages of 14 and 15. She was also a finalist at the NJAC Junior Calypso competitions and NCC Junior Calypso Monarch. Fast forward a few years, she became the first lead female vocalist of the Roy Cape All-Stars and has produced hits like Tremble It, Call My Name, Lucy, Bonnie and Clyde, It's Carnival, Technically, and Destra versus Lucy. The Queen of Bacchanal is here. Destra, good afternoon.
Hi.
And welcome.
What an intro. Wow. I got a little history lesson there too.
Yes.
I was like, oh yeah, I did that.
I did my research. Okay, start by telling me, how has the 2017 season been treating you?
Well, so far so good. This year we have rebranded the QB Wednesday. It's now called Festival of Bacchanal. We've opened it up a little bit more, not just about Destra, but, you know, my friends and people, the music that I like of the season and, you know, things like that. And it's a whole concept now where, you know, we're trying to bring the element of Bacchanal into that week of Carnival. So it's not just a concert. It's also an experience, you know, come and experience the festival of Bacchanal. What's Bacchanal? Carnival is Bacchanal. So come and enjoy that.
Okay, Soca Monarch, do you have any regrets about not entering the competition this year?
No.
Plans to return to it at all?
I don't foresee it in the near future, and no, I don't regret it. I have a different focus now. My focus is a little bit different. Plus, I mean, after a while doing something over and over, you know, you tend to want to change and just kind of freshen up things, or else you're going to get bored in your career and what you're doing. You have to try new things and reach for new things.
Okay, so the soca circuit, do you agree that the soca scene has changed? And if you do agree, what are your thoughts on the change?
Well, the soca scene is always going to change. It's like music evolves. As long as you have new inputs coming in, younger producers, younger songwriters, you know, newer artists, you're going to have different styles, and it's going to change, and it may affect or not affect the ones who were there before doing it a certain way all the time. And it's either you attempt to try the new things or you stick with what you're doing, but at some point, because of evolution and because of the generations changing, you may actually fall into the generation gap, or you could continue to experiment and, you know, kind of continue to do a little bit of the old with a little bit of the new, and just kind of keep balanced in between the generations and cross them. It's easy to cross them if you really focus on, you know, what is trending right now. It's like social media. You know, there are a lot of people that are, let's say, who used to perform in Calypso 10s back in the day that know nothing about social media, you know, and it's like, what is that? I don't know how to use that program on my phone. I don't know, you know, but you have to change. You have to evolve.
Okay, are you satisfied with the growth of the genre though?
I'm not 100% satisfied. I think that from where I saw soca beginning to where it is now, a lot of people like to compare it to dancehall. But dancehall, you know, the marketability is there. They have a lot. It's like a whole army of them working towards taking it to the next level. I think it's getting there. We've gotten a little bit of taste here and there, you know, on that international market. But, you know, there's still time left. I think we just need to keep pushing, keep working at it, keep trying. It's like cooking food. You know, you keep adding until you get the right taste, the right blend, you know, and we'll get there eventually.
Okay. In a recent interview with Private Ryan, he said he compared the soca movement to the dancehall movement. He said that dancehall and reggae is a real movement because Jamaicans are really loyal to their culture, and they support it like 100%. Do you think that our response, Trinidad is Jamaica, everybody says that Carnival and soca, do you think that the response of the locals to soca music contributes or hinders the progress of it actually going as mainstream as dancehall and reggae?
Well, that is a good point, and a good point raised. When you think about what soca used to be and what soca used to do back in the day when it was actually in its realest form, you know, the events when you put on a song, you know, the frenzy that the crowd would go into, you don't see that anymore. And I don't know if it's because the core elements of what soca is or was is no longer there. Everybody's experimenting and crossing the genres and making soca music that is more palatable to the foreigners who like EDM and to who like pop and who like whatever. I don't know if that is a situation. I know I've heard a couple artists vocalize that opinion and say, you know, that you don't have the vibes in the party, you don't have the this, you don't have the that. And in a way, they are correct. And if it is that we need soca to really do what it's supposed to do, it needs to be as venomous as it's always been. It's a sweet sounding music that gets into your bloodstream, that makes you sing, makes you want to jump, dance, wave, you know. And I think some of these songs are doing that, but not all of them. And it should be a movement. If that is what we're heading for, if that is what you're going after, then we should all have like a common head of this is what we're doing. When you hear dancehall, it's one steady beat. It doesn't really change, you know, but we have been experimenting so much. I don't know if we're going to move too far away from what is real or traditional. Either way, I don't really have a problem with it, because at the end of the day, it's what the market enjoys, and you will have people criticizing it who are from a prior generation because they don't understand it, you know. But at the same time, it is our responsibility as musicians to always cater to all the lovers of soca, whether you're 63 or whether you're 5, you know, and kind of give you music that everyone would enjoy.
Do you have a fear though that soca in its rawest form, the realest form, the most authentic form of it, facets of it, will be lost if we continue to focus on giving the masses what they seem to want?
Well, the thing about soca music, it's like Bob Marley said, one thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. But with soca, I think it is so sweet. I don't think you could ever lose that, because even if there's just one person creating authentic soca, it will work. Look at how MX Song is doing, and that has some of the realest elements of soca in it, and it hits right away because your psyche, your subconscious remembers it. So even if you're not you're not a soca lover, or you have a soca loving generation, or you like EDM, or you know, something about authentic soca always hits you like, oh my God, you hearing that? No, I'm not worried.
Okay, so we have Irfan, we have Preeti, we have Second Stand, of course the reigning Soca Monarch Voice. Looking at their contributions to the art form, are you comfortable or confident that the future of soca is in good hands?
It is in good hands. It is. Because these guys are not only writers, these guys are also passionate about it. And they do know a lot about their history, you know. And you could call so many other names apart from them, but I know that they are in the forefront right now, advocating for the newer generation. Second Stand, I was talking about that word generation before, so I know he's probably watching this and laughing at me right now. But that generation of younger writers, you know, I think they're on the right track.
Other than your remarkable vocal range, though, what would you say sets you apart as an artist?
I'm crazy. I think that I'm not afraid to push the envelope. You know, I'm not afraid to explore and experiment. And I'm not one-dimensional. You know, when you think about Destra, there's so many different layers to Destra. Hence the reason why you'll get Destra, you'll get Lucy, you'll get the Queen of Bacchanal. Because when I'm in the Destra mood, you know, that is where the vocal ability really shines. You know, and I sing the songs like Closer that make you really feel what I'm saying because of the passion that goes into the vocals. You know, and then when I'm in the Lucy mode, you know, anything could happen. She could do anything, you know, and then I get loud and I get brawlish, and, you know, it's like, okay, who's she going to be next? And then when I become Queen of Bacchanal now, when I start to wave those rags and jump and the energy comes out and I could fly, you know, it's like, wow, I like this Destra too. Who is she? You never know. I always keep you guessing, you know, and I think that is what kind of sets me apart from many, because I'm crazy.
It's a confession good for the soul, right?
And I have no problem with that. This girl is mad, you know, and there would be many that would say, that girl is crazy. So sometimes, I mean, as Lucy, I may offend some people, but I am really sorry. It's not really the real me. In fact, I don't even know who's the real me now. It get to that point where anybody could come out. At any given time.
What do you like most about what you do?
I love my fans. I love traveling and meeting the fans that hear your music at Carnival and respond to you on Instagram or Twitter and say, gosh, Destra, I can't wait for you to come to Montreal. I can't wait for you to come to Martinique, you know? And it's like, you finally get there and it's like, ah! And that feels really like fulfillment to me, you know? It's like, all right, yeah, the fans make you feel like you're doing something right, you know? There's also the boring stuff like the productions, you know, you go in the studio, you enjoy that too, and you put on some bad vocals, or you have a nice chemistry with a producer. But I've been doing that for a while, so that's cool, and that is understood that I enjoy that. You know, also my band, they know I love them and I enjoy that too. But you see, the fans could either make you or break you. And for me, I try my best to always be in a space where they could appreciate me and feel like they could always reach me.
Okay. Care to share one of your most memorable fan moments?
Well, so far, I don't think this one has been beaten yet. There are two people that took my name on their foot and put tattoos. One put it on their hand, he's Antiguan, and the other one put it on his foot. He's from London. And just meeting them and seeing the tattoo in real and realizing it was not ink, that's like, are you mad? You put a woman's name on your, you never even met me. Crazy, you know, but both instances, you know, these people have become friends, because even the guy, his name is Teen, he put my tattoo on his foot, and automatically I kind of hit it off with him. First we were on social media talking to each other on Twitter, direct messaging, and I say, you know what? He said, could I have your number? And I was like, I don't know. But I'm glad to say that we are now very good friends.
Okay.
So
that's crazy though.
It is. It's weird, but you know, I think I'm a good judge of character, you know, and I do stay away from crazy people because I think I'm enough crazy for my whole life, right? But yeah, but a lot of my fans become my friends. Like, for example, Baka Nation, Akida and Alistair, they run the whole thing, you know, and they were fans first, and now they're friends, you know. They would message me and say, so Destra, here what going on. This is, and I was like, really? You think we should post something about this? I was like, well, all right, if you want to, go ahead. Go ahead, it's cool.
That's fun.
It's nice. It's a nice relationship I have with my fans.
Oh, that's sweet. What are your interests outside of music?
I enjoy swimming. I enjoy watching movies or series. I watch a lot of TV on the plane when I'm flying, because a lot of those flights are very long. Yeah. You know, I'm into all kinds of movies, all kinds. I watch from Suits to Vampire Diaries to Originals to Bitten to Scandal, Power. You name it, I watching it. Seriously.
Okay, so late nights and constant travel commonplace in your career. Do you find it difficult to balance your personal and professional life? Well,
personally, Brian travels with me all the time, so I'm okay where that is concerned, you know. But my daughter is the one that would be missing from this whole equation, and I can't very well traipse her all over the world because she has school. And, you know, I really want more for her than I ever had. And I always had my mom always made sure that we had good educations. And that is a staple. I want that for her as well. So she definitely has to do that. So she would say, Mommy, could I go with you this week? I'm like, no, you have school. I'm coming back on Monday. You know, but she understands. And it's hard to balance. So I never tell people I balance. I manage. Okay. I cope. It's difficult. I don't sleep. But I get it done. You know, I have to get it done. I don't like to wake up in the morning and this pending, that pending, the other pending. Okay. You know, I didn't pack a bag for Bali. I didn't do that. I have to make sure everything is done before I go to sleep. And then by the time I go to sleep, I only get 2 hours.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Has she shown any interest in following in your footsteps though?
Yes, and yes. She loves singing. She's actually pitch perfect.
Okay, that's great.
She's playing the piano. She's reading music too already. But I do not... And I would say this publicly, and you'll probably play this years after when she becomes a mega superstar. I really don't want her in music because I know how difficult it was for me getting here. And being a female in this industry too is very difficult. You have to work twice as hard. And I mean, she's so brilliant. I think she could be somebody great, like a big lawyer or something, or, you know, a prime minister or something. I think she can do, not better, but I think she could channel her energies elsewhere.
Okay, you mentioned that being a female entertainer, you have to work twice as hard.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the biggest challenges that you would have had to face?
Being respected by the males in the industry. A lot of times when I first started, I was a female vocalist first and foremost, you know, I remember Roy saying he don't want a woman in the band. But he had good reason, because back then, you know, you would associate a lot of bacchanal with females and bands. And, you know, I heard stories. And when I came in, and then I was young, so it's a headache, it's a responsibility, because as a female, women don't need a dressing room per se, or men take 5 seconds to get ready.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody that recently. I was like, listen, you just have to change your t-shirt, change your pants and shoes, and you're good. Wash your face, you're good. But with females, there's the makeup, and there's the nails, and the hair, and then the right outfit, and then you have to pin up a million things so that it doesn't, you know, embarrass you on stage. And then you need a dressing room, and you need to go backstage. And then if you need to use the bathroom, you can't go on a wall somewhere or in a tree or in a dark corner. You have to have, you know, proper facilities.
Yeah.
And getting all these things over the years had been difficult, because remember now your band leader has to fight for you for these things and say, well, listen, we have a girl in the band. So whereas you would just put an open tent for everybody, and we need now a private dressing room for her. You know, so a lot of those challenges coming along the way with things that would change as we went along. And then I'm in a band. I'm not a solo act. So before, you know, you would find people like Alison Hines and Nell Dempster having similar stresses, but, you know, they were fixed along the way.
All right. What would you say has been the highlight of your career to date?
I don't know, you know. I think I can't say highlight really. Well, there have been highlights, like the many awards that I've received and so on. But for me, I think being a household name in the world, that is a major achievement for me. Going to places that I've never been and people recognizing me in the street, or going on social media and seeing the diaspora and where people are from. You know, there are people all the way in Japan, people in Dubai that listen to Destra, and people calling places that I've visited. I think that is something that I never thought would happen, at least not in soca. And I want everybody to know that, you know, soca, regardless of what people say, soca, the industry itself, it may not be where you think it's supposed to be, but it's a very lucrative market, and there's so many people listening, so many people that we have touched, you know, in so many places. This is definitely your culture. Embrace it, keep working at it. And, you know, we need all hands on deck. Even if you don't like somebody, you can't get along with them, all hands on deck where soca is concerned.
Which of your songs is your personal favorite?
Every year changes, you know. Every year changes. This year I really like Closer. Not because I wrote that one, but because the message. Okay. And everybody right now, you know, on the whole violence tip, and stop the violence, and stop the abuse against women, and stop this and stop that. And I just feel that, yes, we need to send out those messages, but as well, you need to nip it in the bud. And I think that, you know, as long as we remember to keep our loved ones close, always know where they are, make sure they're always safe, always check on each other, each one help one, you know, I think that is a stepping stone onto protection, you know, because everybody would have everybody's back. Hold your loved ones closer. And I think the message was really evident in the song. And I think that's why that's my favorite for this year. I love them all, but it's like having kids, you know. You might like one a little more than the other. I don't know.
What would you say is the reality of the soca industry for women? Is there a sense of camaraderie and a sisterhood?
Well, I would say for most of us, there is that camaraderie. You know, for me, I know that last year, all the ladies that I asked to come and support me, they didn't hesitate. They were there. And even this year in my concert festival of Bacchanal, you would see a very large presence of women on the cast. You know, Terry Lyons is there, and she has an amazing song this year. I really wish she wins the road match. Soca Monarch. I really wish she wins, because I think she deserves it. It's been a long time that a female hasn't won. And also we have Nadia Batson on the cast, and that's my whole friend. She probably watching this interview and laughing right now too. And then Alison, Denise, well, you know, our history go way back. Yeah. And these were two iconic women in the business that I used to look up to, and I still do. And for me, it's like, wow. The other day I sat down and I'm like, I remember when I used to see them perform and be like starstruck when they came into a room, and now look at us, we're all friends. So I would think in terms of camaraderie, as long as you respect each other, it will work. You know, I'm not saying that everyone is like that, but I don't have a problem with the ones that I deal with. And the ones that I deal with, we cool with each other too. not everybody's going to get along with women. Women are catty. Women have egos, you know. But for the most part, I think yes. I could safely say yes, we good. We good.
All right. Do you find Trinidad and the wider Caribbean to be a restrictive market?
Say that again. Let me think about what I'm going to say.
Do you think that it's only so much you could get done here in Trinidad and Tobago with regards to your growth as an artist in the industry?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that because we have social media now, everything is a lot easier.
Okay.
What you need to do is to focus on reaching your wider markets, not just by jumping on a plane. You know, you figure out, okay, where are people listening to my songs? Let me get the numbers of some people from the radio station in Antigua. For example, hi, I am so and I have this song. You need to just go after what you want. But I could say that because I am that type of person. I don't like to sit down and wait for things to happen. I kind of get up and get it moving, you know. So for me, I would go out there and say, well, all right. If I go to a country, I would say, all right, which is the stations or whatever, and I would go. And I would make sure they know me, they fall in love with Destra, and they call me back, whatever. But you have to go out there and make it happen. So it starts at home, it starts at Carnival. When Carnival is going on, even if you're not hired for an event, make sure people see you. Make sure that, look, this guy came up to me yesterday. He said, you know who I is? I was like, no. He said, I see fellow who sing Ram Singh Shama, you know? And I appreciate that because I would not have known otherwise. Yeah. And now I could come on TV and talk about him, you understand? And that's how it works. That's how it works. You put yourself out there.
Okay, what's next for Destra?
What's next for Destra? Today is what? Thursday. We're doing Jam Nation this weekend. Next week, we're doing Festival of Bacchanal. And then after that is done, I'm going to support my sister Alison Hines and Vass. And then on the weekend, we're going on our first tour for the year. Yeah, this is our first tour. We're going to Venezuela Carnival.
Okay, sweet.
Before Trinidad Carnival done. And then I'm coming back to play Mass. And humor on the road always. And after Mass is finished, then we start the real set of touring. And that's it for a little while. Back and forth.
Thanks so much. I wish you all the best for the rest of the season and beyond. And I will see you next week Wednesday.
Oh gosh, wait, did her parties I didn't mention? I already don't hold me responsible for that. I didn't mention
she can't remember everything.
I can't remember everything. I didn't mention Fahrenheit. I didn't, oh God, have plenty parties. I will be, only just follow me on Instagram now. They don't know, oh God. Next thing I get a blowout, I only mention Jam Nation, Lord.
They'll understand. But yeah, thanks so much. And I wish you all the best for the rest of 2017 and beyond.
Thank you.
And with that, we end this installment of Conversations with C. I am Dion Batiste saying good afternoon and goodbye.